Hello. Good Tuesday morning to you all. I am here impromptu with my friend Ange, who I met on a live call with Brendan Bouchard. We were part of this mastermind class. And of course, you always write down who you are, where you're from. And she said she's from Saskatoon and I'm from Switzerland. It was kind of cool. So we're like, hey, we got to meet in person because we are too close to not meet in person. So, anyways, that's how I met Ange. And she has created this amazing opportunity. It's called the School of Humankind, and it is a group of incredible human beings that are just trying to make a difference in this world. And we have collaborated and we have this faculty. It's pretty amazing what she's created. So today I was supposed to introduce someone from our faculty that is brand new and what she has to offer. Her name's Sorrel. She's a relationship coach and she is so amazing. You guys need to meet her and what she has to offer. So anyways, I was supposed to meet up with her today and introduce her to the faculty and to all of you, but she is not feeling 100%. So off the cuff, I am shifting and pivoting and I am creating a live with you guys today to talk about manifesting because that is something I absolutely love and I live it and I want to teach it. So Ange is also into manifesting. So we are collaborating together to riff it off and talk about how to manifest like a boss because I am Manifest Boss Babe. So anyways, we are gonna go on live together. She's gonna hop on this call. We're going to chat and get rolling on some juicy conversations about manifesting and how we do it. I'll just see where she's at. See where she's at, and then we can get her to join. That's one thing about me is I can always pivot. Something comes up, shit happens, and I'm able to get in there and change my mindset. And okay, how can I do this? Oh, there she is. Hello.
Sorry about that. I was
That's
like,
okay.
where is she? How's the invitation come on? You can tell we are like Facebook Live. Well, I'm a Facebook Live virgin.
It's all good.
Thanks for being my first, Amanda.
We have to start somewhere, right? I'm just new to this too. Like we're all new. We learn. You learn by doing. That's how I roll.
Exactly. So today we are here on behalf of the School of Humankind that I'm co-founder of, and you are an amazing faculty member. So we are, School of Humankind is a place where we gather like so many different people from across the globe. We've got faculty from, gosh, all over the globe: India, UK, Ireland, Canada, the States. Am I missing some? Switzerland. So yeah, we're all over the place and we're all exchanging information and ideas and having a great time. And you are part of that, yes, Miss Amanda.
Yes. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. I am so stoked. And anybody in my wheelhouse that I feel like could contribute, I will definitely throw them your way because I know a lot of amazing human beings that I feel that could be a huge asset. And I've reached out to a couple people already because I know what they're capable of doing and I know the value they can provide to people.
Yeah.
So I've reached out to them. So hopefully after seeing us talk and riff it off, maybe they'll join. I don't know. Maybe they'll
they'll say, oh, run away.
Right.
So today we are talking about manifest like a boss, and you actually are kind of, that's your shtick. That's you talk about manifesting all the time, and I am a practicing manifester. I know the theory behind it, and you know, I definitely have had times in my life where I go, that happened because I had it in mind and I've worked towards it, and then it happened. So I want to just explore this topic with you because, you know, you teach it you live
Embody
and walk
it.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to start at the basics? Like,
Yeah, well, when I have really brought things into my fruition, I'm like, I got to teach this to everybody. Like, this is amazing. So then I was like, I'm Manifest Boss Babe, and I'm going to teach everybody how to manifest. Let's freaking go, right? Then I realized, nobody believes that they can have what they want. They don't believe that they can actually get it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worthy of it before it'll come. Because if you say, "Oh, I want this. I want $1 million," just like like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, right? Like as if it'll ever happen, but you don't believe it'll actually happen, right? Well,
yeah.
then it'll never happen because you don't believe it'll happen. So the whole point of manifesting is believing it, that you can have it, and then going for it and just taking the small actions and opening up your um oh, I'm like gonna go into the chakras here. I'm not gonna go that deep on you guys. The
No,
third
that's
eye and the
fine.
crown. We won't go that deep, but just opening up your eyes to opportunities that are always presenting themselves to you, that is there. Like everything is always there. Your highest timeline, your highest version of yourself is right there, living the life. You just need to tap into that. You need to take the right path and follow the right direction. God, the universe, the source, whatever you believe in, is always creating opportunities for you. Is whether or not you take them.
Okay, so on that note, you stopped yourself because you're like, oh, we can't go that deep. Is manifesting too woo for like the rest of us? You know, like my background is engineering. I was brought up in a church, but I've, gone more spiritual, that kind of thing. But like, how do you explain manifesting to people who are just like, please don't talk woo to me. Please do not talk third eye because I'm already deformed enough as it is.
I know.
Right?
That's why I said I'm not going to go too deep because people think, oh, woo woo or whatever. They don't like, they're not at that level of believing in spirituality yet, whereas I am. Like, I believe in it and the frequencies. Like, I talk about frequencies quite a bit, which is a way of being. If you're living in shame and guilt and unworthiness, you're at the very bottom of the frequencies, which means that's all you're going to ever get. You're not going to get at the top, where is the universe, God, enlightenment, feeling freedom, joy, love. That's at the top. You're never going to be there if you feel this is all you're worthy of.
Yeah.
So you can
And,
have, you
and
could dream all you want to be a millionaire and a billionaire, but if you're not living like that, if you don't feel like that, you're living here, you're never going to be there. There's misalignment. So you need to start believing in yourself and working on your self concept to bring yourself up to that level, that, and it's just going to snap. It's going to be like, bingo, there it is.
okay, so tell us one of your manifesting stories because I know that you have so many.
Oh, yeah. Mm, I'll
What's your
tell my car
favorite
one
one?
because that one's fun.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because, okay, my friends' kids even talk about this to this day. So I decided I wanted to get rid of my Nissan Pathfinder because it's a soccer mom car and I didn't want to be identified as a soccer mom. I'm like, I'm not a soccer mom. I don't want to be that
Nothing
mom.
wrong with being a
There's
soccer mom.
nothing wrong with being a soccer mom. Nothing wrong with it. But I kind of like cars. I love vehicles and I'm like, why can't I have one? Like, why can't I? Because I was like, oh, maybe I just need a boyfriend that has a nice car. I'm like, no, why can't I have one? So I needed a new, oh wait, I needed new brakes on my car. And I was supposed to head out of town for like 3 to 4 hours. And my mechanic's like, no, it's not happening. Like, you can't take your car out of town. So I'm like, what am I going to
It
do? I
is
don't have a
not safe.
vehicle. Right. So I'm like, okay, I'll rent one. And I went to budget. Here, there's a Charger, a Dodge Charger there. I'm like, I want that one. So they're like, okay. So they got it for me. I took it down to my family farm, and my mom and dad are like, what are you driving? And I'm like, my new car. I freaking love this thing. So then I started researching, and I'm like, I want this specific color. It's like called Destroyer gray. It's like a matte gray. Then I'm like, and I want all-wheel drive because I live in the winter. I need to have all-wheel drive, and I want sunroof, and I want leather seats, and da 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 da. I listed off all these things. So I'm like, does this car even exist? So I went online. Sure enough, it does. But it was only made in 3 years, 2018, 19, or 17, 18, 19. 3 years that Charger was made in that specific color. good luck finding all these specific things that I want, right? So I was messaging every person that I knew in the dealers, like in the car world, saying, hey, just let you know, I'm looking for this used vehicle. This is the specs. And one guy texts me back. He's like, good luck. I'm like,
Aw,
awesome.
thanks,
So I
buddy.
was like, whatever, this is what I want. I'm putting it out to the universe. It'll show up somehow. And it was my daughter's birthday, and we were taking them out to the lake. And we had a car full of kids, right, with my Pathfinder. We're heading out to the lake. We're at the stop sign, and red light. And all of a sudden, there was my car sitting at the red light, waiting to turn. And then it turned. I was like, oh my gosh, there's my car. And the girls are like, what? I'm like, the car that I want. I'm like, hold on. And I was watching where they went. So then I ripped around and I found them in the McDonald's parking lot,
You stalked
parked beside
someone. You
them.
stalked someone for a car.
What?
Okay. That's you stalked someone for their car.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it gets better. It gets better. Just hold up. The girls are screaming in the back because they think I'm crazy because I'm chasing this car down.
Yep.
Found them in McDonald's parking lot, parked right beside them. They were getting out as a mom, dad, and two little girls. And I rolled my window down. I'm like, I want your car. And they're like, what?
Hello, I want your car.
Yeah, they're like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, 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 no. Hear me out. This is the car I want. I want to trade this one. I'm like, we could just trade. Like, whatever. I'm like, I got DVD players in the back for those kids. Like, this is, and the dad's like, oh, there's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
The dad is like, that does make sense because they're growing up. And the mom's like, no, this is my car. I'm not trading it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, well, here's my card in case you change your mind. Because they're like, well, what are we supposed to do? We're from Alberta. Because that's what, and I said, well, we'll just trade. Laughing the whole way to the lake. They thought I was crazy, thought I was insane. I'm like, well, if you don't go for it, you're not going to get it. Because what if they said okay, right? Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
I went on Auto Trader and I found my car, the exact car that I wanted, the leather seats, everything. And I was dealing with them. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I went on YouTube and I started researching how to buy a car. They told me everything. They spilled the tea on how, like, what fees they're going to try charging you, how they're going to talk to you, all the steps and procedures that they go through in order to sell a vehicle. So I was like, I got this in the bag, right? Like, being a woman and I don't know anything. I know lots about vehicles, but I don't know how to buy a car and all the steps and how they try to, like, do their salesman stuff. So I researched it and I was dealing with it. In the meantime, I had boudoir photos booked. Like, I'm talking, this is back in July, and I had booked those like 6 months in advance, and they were in October. And I'm like, I'm gonna have my car for my pictures because I want sexy time pictures with my car.
I was wondering where we were going with this.
Yes, yes. So I had to throw that in there. So that was in October. I had them booked. So this was in July when I chased down the car, and then I found my car. I must have been August, September. I can't even remember. Anyways, we're dealing back and forth, and the guy was like dicking me around or whatever. I'm like, look, I don't need this car. I just want it because I like it. I have a vehicle that's paid off, and I don't need it. Yeah. And then, yeah, sure enough, he came through, and they delivered it to my house from Calgary, 5 hours away.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had it for my photos. I felt like such a badass. Oh, so not only did I bucket list my boudoir photos, but I got it with my sexy car.
And are you going to show us them? No, just kidding. This is a family show.
Right? Right? Yeah, we're not showing. No.
So, should we discuss, like, what would you say are the steps to manifesting?
We have to know what you want very clearly.
Like,
because if you just throw it up in the air and say,
yeah,
I want more money, well, how much money do you want? 50 cents? You know what I'm saying? You have to be very specific on what you want.
like, I found a dime on my bathroom floor this morning.
There you go. You're richer. You're richer than you think.
I guess. But it was odd because I'm like, who in this house has money anymore? But yeah, okay, so you have to be specific. But okay, anyway, I'll come back to that later. But so now what's the next thing?
And then writing it down. I'm a huge believer in pen and paper manifesting. You should see the stuff that I've written down that's come into fruition. Because when you're doing that, you're making a connection and you're declaring it that you want it.
Yeah, because that's one thing that I was going to ask you. You told everyone you wanted that car. Is that important to tell everyone what you want?
Well, I feel like it helps with the action steps. That's part of the action steps. If you want something, because the more connections you have, the more opportunities that open up. Because if you just say to your, like sometimes I feel like it'll happen too if you're just quiet to yourself and you pray that that's what you want. But I have found in my own experience, if I express what I want, people that might know something, that might have something that can create something for you. Do you
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
I'm
We're
getting
all
you're
one.
laying
We're all
down.
connected.
Okay. And then what? So you tell people, you write it down, you
And then
know it very specifically.
you look for opportunities. You see
I
that
said that all
car sitting at the
backwards.
red light and you freaking go. I could have just drove past and been like, eh. Not saying I got that specific car, but it was proving to the universe she's serious. She's nuts. So she's chasing these people down to the parking lot. She
That
wants it.
that is true. And you actually ran the risk of people other than who you knew thinking you're absolutely
Yeah.
batty.
I
But
don't
you were
care.
willing to do
Yeah.
that for that
I don't
car.
care what other people think of me.
Do you still have it?
Oh yeah. And you know what? My friends' kids say to that my daughter all the time. Remember that time your mom chased those people down? And they love my car. They think it's so awesome. They're like, it's a sports car. Yeah.
No, that's cool. Okay, so write it down, and then so in what I've learned is that you have to maintain sort of a higher frequency, so a higher mood about it. And that's where I think a lot of people fall down because it doesn't come fast and then you start doubting. So then your mood goes down or you start to like feel like crap because everyone else has got something and you do the comparison dance and then your mood and your whole faith in yourself kind of falters.
Yeah.
What would you tell people who are feeling like that?
You have to detach from the outcome. Just know that it's done. You put your order in, it's done. Done. It's
But how
happening.
long do I wait?
Huh? It doesn't matter. Divine timing. Divine timing. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. That's a great way to look at it. Like you put in your order and it's done.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a brisket and it's got to take its sweet ass time to make perfection. And other times it's a delicious taco that's just like right now. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
But are there things you need to do to like make it happen? Make it, I don't know.
I truly believe, and you have to believe that it's yours and that but you have to take action steps.
Like you did, like chase down,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chase down
I don't recommend
strangers.
chasing down vehicles. Or for another example, like I want to maybe Airbnb my house out
Oh
eventually.
yeah. Yeah.
So I bought a dresser that from IKEA that sat in my garage since July. And I'm like, that's not getting you an Airbnb hookup, Amanda, by sitting in your garage because I have to put a dresser in my, so I can put my stuff in there so I can
Yeah.
lock it up. I'm like, you're not gonna have Airbnb if it's sitting in your garage. So this weekend I set it up in my closet. I put it all together and put it in my closet. I'm like, see, one step closer to what I want. Because it's not gonna happen if I don't take those steps that I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. When I started learning about this was quite later in life. But when I looked back on my life and I could see where things actually worked out for me better than I expected, um, I do see little points in that. So when I was a kid, I remember sitting in my closet writing down like what I wanted to do when I grew up. And it was, one of them was to work overseas. So I remember I drew an airplane on this little pad of paper and it's just kind of put it away. But as I was growing up and going through high school, I really liked accounting. So I thought I'm going to be an accountant. But as I got to grade 12 and I had to apply for university, there was something inside me that said, hey, I think you need to go explore this a little more. So I went to the guidance counselor and she said, do this aptitude test. And what it came back with was engineer. And I didn't even know what an engineer was, but it was like, okay, I like math, I like science, because that's what the guidance counselor said that I should, you should like if you're going to be an engineer. I applied for engineering, got in, and after 4 years, I became an engineer. And then when I look back on that, I'm just like, I could not have traveled with an accountant degree, but I can travel with a science-based degree because science is the same all over the world. It's like the accounting is very local. So I look back on that, and because I didn't have a huge desire, I didn't have like any negative emotions with what I was going to do. I was fully open. I was just, willing to do whatever sounded kind of cool. Then all of a sudden, my wish, my little girl wish inside that closet came true that I could work overseas. And I, did that for, I can't remember how many years, 16 years. So yeah, I mean, that's my biggest evidence of manifesting. Now that I know what to do and kind of what to look for, I find like the things that I really, really want. And then if I don't see that they're coming, I start to feel negative, and then that stops the manifesting, the manifesting in that direction. Things that I don't really have that much emotion with. Like another stupid example is our kids' elementary school needed a digital sign. So I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. And it hadn't been able to get done for years. Like they just didn't have the money. They didn't have someone who could take care of it. And I mean, it's a sign. It's just something that I didn't have huge emotion with. But then all of a sudden the whole community comes together. I had the person, volunteer to dig the trenches for all the wiring. I had people, just stepping up and helping put the sign together, and voila, we have a sign. And so I think it's like you said, is like put the order in, consider it done, and then just do like lightheartedly the steps that work towards that end vision.
Absolutely. And detachment. See, you weren't
Yeah, it's
fully
the
like, because when
detachment.
you are attached to it, you have that like scarcity mindset, like you want. So what is the universe providing you? Want. You're asking that you want it. So it's like, okay, you want more money? I'll give you the want more money. You want more money? You're getting want. I have more money, so I'm going to have more money. Do you hear the difference? When
Yeah.
you want something, you're being provided with the want.
And the money issue is a tough one
Yeah.
because we are all connected to money, and it's number one, like the comparison, or it's also when you don't have any money, how do you be happy about not having money? Like, do you have any tricks that people can do to maybe switch their mindset about money?
Okay, well, first of all, I was just having this conversation in the car with my kids last night because I teach them about it all the time. It's just frequency, it's just
Yeah.
energy. Like
Okay.
back in the day when my grandpa was a kid, it was physical money. That's what it
Yeah.
was, right? You're changing this physical thing for your energy, for your time. Now it's the same thing, but just an abundance of it. It's literally a decimal point, right? Cash is like almost no longer existing. The physical being of
Yeah.
it, right? It's just energy. You're exchanging your value for something else valued, right? So like your value of, like, for me, we talk about this with women too. Women take care of their looks, like their hair, and they value how they look. So they put that on the scale of like a high priority. So they're willing to pay that money to make them look good and make them feel good. Whereas someone else, like a man, is like, whatever, like I'll pay maybe $40 for a haircut. I'm not going to pay $240 for a haircut, right? So it's different values, but they're willing to pay that amount. But the money always comes back. Like it's just a value system and energy. That's all it is. It always comes back. But when you think of it like I don't have much, you hold on to it and you are in scarcity mindset. So you can't allow it more to come in because you're so scared of losing it. That's why they say with people that win millions of dollars, Some people actually lose it right away because they spend it. They don't know, they don't feel comfortable having that amount of money with them because they don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So then they blow it. They're like, oh, I'm gonna go buy this, and then the money's gone. They don't know how to be comfortable in that state because they haven't, they're down here. They don't deserve it because they're not up here. So if you bring yourself up here, you're matching that frequency, and that's what you're deserving because you're at that frequency. Does
Right.
that make sense?
It does. One example that I heard you could do to make yourself feel more abundant in money is put some cold hard cash in your pocket. They were suggesting $100. Put it in your pocket and walk around and just say, "Hey, I could get that with this. I could buy, 100 somethings with
But I don't
this."
want it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's a
it's just
choice.
feeling, it's that feeling of I can buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and making it a choice, like not a like a condemnation on yourself that I can't afford it. Of course, $100 maybe buys you half a shoe, but let's talk jujubes or something,
Right.
something
Exactly.
that you can buy a lot of for $100.
Yeah.
So that was an example or an exercise people could do to just feel more abundant.
Another thing too that I had learned, Rhonda Bryan actually did it when she was broke ass. Like she when she gets her bills, she actually writes, and I do this too when I do my bill paying. I write in a journal, I am grateful for the power that I got this month. I am so grateful that I have exchanged my energy for this. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm literally exchanging my time to have power in my house. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the power and the water, running water that I have. There's people in the world that don't have this. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm
Absolutely.
grateful that I'm able to provide that for myself. I
Yeah.
am able to provide that for myself. You have to like change it like that, right? And all everything. I am grateful for my Apple Music because I listen to it every single day. You just look at your bills and just like think, and then there's those things that you don't feel good about, then maybe we just don't spend money on those things that you're not grateful for, right? Like you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But you have to be grateful for everything that you have, and then more comes to you.
Yeah, so I've heard the universe is all about more. So if you, however you're feeling, always ask yourself, do I want more of this feeling? And if you do, like if you're feeling great, then, milk it. And if you don't feel good about it, let's see how you can change it into something like gratitude or appreciation for something. Um, and also that you don't have to actually feel good about money to build it. You just have to not focus on it. You have to feel good about something else.
And do you
And
know another thing that rich people do is
mm,
they're always giving, always giving. So they're rich in life. They're not just rich financially. They're able to provide that for other individuals. Like they're always giving to charities, and people are always like, oh, yeah, they just want the accolades. No, right? They have that because they could just keep the money and spend it for themselves, and they'll be in the exact same spot as you, like as those people that are saying that because they're in that scarcity mindset, right? But no, they're giving and they're providing something for someone that maybe can't have that or who wants that. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like they're giving to charities and they're, or even like seeing somebody on the side of the street. How many people actually stop and give money to them, right? And I'm teaching my kids to do that because I'm like, whatever I have is more than what they have, and they need it more than I do. I always give, always.
yeah. And I think about it, but sometimes I don't have
No,
cash. It's like,
I know. That's the thing is we don't
do you
carry
have a
cash anymore.
transfer machine?
But do you know what we do? What I do is I'll even buy food for them at the store. Like we'll buy like something that doesn't go bad necessarily, or bananas. It was so funny. We ran into Walmart and my daughter ran straight for the bananas. I'm like, what are you doing? We have some. She's like, but the guy's sitting outside. Because that's the
Oh,
thing is I'd always buy extra bananas, or I'd give him like half of my bananas because I see him there. I don't have cash on me, but I have groceries that I am able to provide for him.
yeah,
I always do that.
yeah. And I really like the saying of whoever says money doesn't make you happy has never given it away. Like I love that one. It just sort of
Exactly.
switches the whole paradigm because
Totally.
I want to make money because I want to give it away. I want to, there's that as well to
Yeah.
that feeling of doing something for someone else is great.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, if you want to just get that feeling, just go volunteer, do something for someone. You know, that's one of the biggest, fastest ways to turn around a bad mood is to do something for someone. Do
Out of the
something,
goodness of your heart. Yeah,
yeah,
totally. And do
where you don't, they don't
no,
expect it.
and that's the thing is I give my time all the time to different charities or whatever, and I'll help people out with different things. And guess what? That's actually given me jobs. People are like, hey, remember that time she helped us out with that thing? She's pretty awesome. So let's see if she wants this job. Right? See, that's what I'm talking about. Guess what? A new job equals money. See how that works? It's like it's all energy. You give with your heart and you receive.
Yeah. Okay, so recap the steps for us. Can you? Can you, or do you want me to?
Well, let's see if you can.
Okay. Um, know what you want in, specifically, write it down. Do little, oh yeah, so sort of consider it done. Make your deposit to the bank of the universe and consider it done. And then make little steps towards that goal. And I think just like keeping it in mind and being detached from the outcome is really key.
Believing
Yeah.
it's done. Believe. Who?
So is that a good summary of
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary, I would say. Yeah. And I even
but
tell
yeah,
people
the
just to start
detachment.
testing it out with smaller things. Like I always talk about the parking spot thing. Like I always get parking no matter what, just because I expect it. I know it's done. Like I don't even think about it anymore because I know it's done. People think I'm crazy, but whatever. You can go walk a mile away if you want. And if I do get a parking spot a long ways away, it's because I don't want my doors dinged. But if I
Yeah.
want a specific parking spot, it's always there for me. So I just tell people just try the parking spot thing and see. That's a perfect small little manifesting because you're manifesting all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether, but when you
Whether
start
you
doing it
know it or
intentionally
not.
is where it's like game changing.
Yeah, that's true. So, and like I said, when I looked back on my life, I could see where I've manifested things using, what I've been told. And it's almost like when you're told how to do it, you're always tripping up. Like you're just going, "Oh, don't, I'm feeling bad about that again." And it's almost trickier when you know how to do it.
Oh,
Because
for
you know
sure.
exactly what you're doing wrong instead
Yeah.
of letting it go.
And just be
Because we're,
more aware.
yeah, because we're self-critical.
Yeah. Even like I'm so in tapped with it right now that I can think of someone just randomly and they will either text me, call me, or show up in my real life. Like people that I haven't talked to or seen in a long time. They just show up. Like I was even here's another funny story. I was serving one night and I was rolling cutlery. It was late. I was bored. I'm like, it'd be really nice if like this really hot tattooed guy showed up at the bar and like, chatted me up. 15 minutes later, I'm chatting up a hot tattooed guy.
There you
Seriously.
go. And I'm just wondering why you didn't order like a cute single guy in that beautiful car that you stopped.
Yeah.
Were you
I was
thinking?
too determined on the car.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look up what your car is because I'm not a car person. I'm just like happy to go from point A to point B
Oh.
comfortably. And I talk about colors. Like, oh, what kind of car do you have? Oh, gray? Cool.
Do you know what's funny though is like once you start like once I show you a picture of my car, you're gonna see them all over. You're gonna see them everywhere in Saskatoon. Maybe not my color, but you're gonna see the specific kind of car. It's so
Yeah.
funny because then your reticulating activating system is on fire, and that's all you see. So when you want something, it starts showing up because they're everywhere. But if you're not aware of it, you don't see it. So that's how
No.
these opportunities start showing up. When you want something, you put it out there. That's all you're gonna see.
Yeah. Well, and it was like with I ran a membership and I had challenged my people to just to see how focus works. And as like, look for hearts this week. And it was just amazing how many hearts people found. They, in coffee tables. One lady found a heart in her dog's ear, like just the way the hair was sitting. It was really quite amazing. But when you're tuned to something, then you're really, it's more in your awareness.
That's funny you said hearts because that's all I've been seeing lately. I'm like, okay, universe, what are you telling me? What's happening?
You're
Because I saw a heart
gonna
shape.
fall in
Oh
love.
God. It was like saw a heart-shaped flower while I was working out, like a leaf flew into my garage and it was
Wow.
heart-shaped. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then even last night we were eating burgers and a piece of cheese fell off and it was like the shape of a heart. I showed the girls, I'm like, I'm crazy. And they're like, no, it's a heart. What? What's happening?
Well, and I like that you're teaching this to your kids. Like they seem to be soaking it in.
Oh
And
yeah.
are they trying to
Oh
manifest
yeah.
things?
My youngest is trying to manifest a trip to Costa Rica right now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's it. That's a nice place to try to manifest.
And guess where the resistance is? In mom's hands. I have the passport stuff ready to rock. I just need dad to sign off on it so I can just send it off and get it renewed. But that's the resistance. That's what's the blockage. So if I did it, who knows what's going to happen?
Exactly.
I should do
Oh,
it.
send me a postcard. Send me a postcard from Costa Rica.
Okay.
So, are we able to take any questions or are
Yeah, we can
people?
if people want to. We only have 3 viewers on at the moment. We had a few on earlier, but
We had like 11,
oh,
I think, at the most.
really? Oh, I was
Yeah, and I
probably too
didn't,
busy talking. Imagine that.
I did not see, I don't know how you
I
see
have
who's on or
a
who's off,
tendency
but
of talking a little much. Oh, we
come
had a
on.
few people on. We only have 3 on right now.
That's okay.
Yeah,
3 lovely people. I saw Rennie, who is also a faculty member, and I think John was telling me he was going to join.
nice.
So
I
if
had
you
a
guys
few of
have
my
any
people.
questions, do you have any questions for this manifest boss person and me? I'm young grasshopper, still checking and working on it. And
It's
but
so amazing. It's so cool. Like I'm like, okay, now what should I do? It's crazy what I've done.
I know. So what is next for you?
Um,
You got some pretty amazing things planned for your business.
yeah, I do. I do. And it's crazy because I had written down that I wanted to do a youth, like I just have brain dumps and I write down on I have a specific manifesting journal. And whatever comes to my heart or I get a download or whatever comes to my heart and then I feel like I need to do, I write it down in my journal. I don't know what it is, what it's for, but I just write it down. And I wrote that I was going to be a part of a youth initiative program of some kind. I was going to create this thing and it's going to be part of my legacy program. And I don't know how it was going to come about or what it was going to do, but it was going to involve the youth and their parents and it's going to change the world. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but and then a friend of mine was texting with me and he said that he's part of this program and he's like, I think you would be totally in alignment with this and it's something you want to do. So he shared it with me and I'm like, holy shit. And I just got goosebumps. I'm like, this is it. Like, I'm
Wow.
sweating right now just thinking about it. It's insane. I think I need to dabble into this. It's big and it's going to create some waves and it's going to be very controversial, but I think it's much needed. So it's to involve youth and social media and
Oh, wow.
getting them off of it.
Wow.
Like it's a huge need. And I think like when he was talking to me about it, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm playing devil's advocate because you're a single guy that doesn't have kids. Yeah, it's easy for you to say. I'm a mom, a single mom to boot. It's easier just to let your kids do it and like be on their phones and whatever because it's easier working all day and you're just exhausted. The last thing you want to do is fight with your kids. Because as you
Yeah.
know, when they're on their phones and when you take their phone away, they're monsters. It's insane. It's like an addiction, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, good luck. But now I'm looking into it. I'm like, our kids need this. Like I made a post yesterday. I want them off their phones. So I took them to the dollar store. We're creating like vision boards. And you should have seen them last night, Ange. I'm like, okay, we're gonna wait till Sunday. They're like, we can't wait till Sunday. We want to start now. They were so
Aw.
excited. And they were like crafting and they were just being so creative. That's what happens when you're bored. You become creative,
Yes.
right? Tap
Yeah.
into that. And what happens is when you're creative, you open up your crown chakra, you're getting to this elevated state, and then you're allowing good things to come in. Huh, imagine how that happens. So, anyways, they're busy doing that. They were singing, and then they're like, oh, I love this
Aw.
song. And she stood up and she started dancing. That does not happen when they're on their phones.
No,
Never.
that's great. And yeah, I'm always telling my kids, I want you to learn how to be
Yeah.
bored. so that
Yes.
you can be creative. And it's just, yeah, you don't need people feeding you information every second of the
The
day.
dopamine hit. And us adults are just as guilty.
Oh, some more.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so we are at 45 minutes.
Oh
That
my
went
gosh,
so
of course we are.
fast.
I talk way too much.
No, it's so I hope that, we gave some good manifesting
Yes.
tips
Yes. And I
on behalf
hope
of the
people
School of
check out
Humankind.
our
Yeah, go
human,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was
You
gonna
say it.
say I hope they check out the faculty, the School of Humankind, the beautiful thing that you've created. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah,
Bless your
yeah.
soul.
Me and co-founder John, and we just envision that it's just a place for discussion and to talk about varying ideas so that we can learn life skills, all the life skills we didn't learn at school. There's only so much knowing about the war of bloody blah blah that will take you in your life, but like how to actually be a good and kind person goes a long way.
It does. Oh, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, and this was a nice way to learn how to do a live.
Yep. Get practice.
Yes, and thanks to everyone who tuned in at one point or another or watching the replay.
Yeah.
And come join us on www.schoolofhumankind.com.
Yes. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.